Cheers, Dan. What an atmosphere at the Parkin Stadium. The home fans giving it everything to support their team. If you believe in fairy tales, then maybe Denmark is your team tonight, but Russia have got other ideas. They know that a point may see them through, but a win would guarantee them through to the last 16. They've not been out of the group stages at the last two tournaments. The manager, Stanislav Cherchesov, well, he's just made the one change from that win over Finland last time out. Fedor Kudryashov is fit again. Dmitry Baranov drops to the bench. Sofonov then keeps his place in goal, just the third cap for the Krasnodar goalkeeper. Divyev, Zakir and Kudryashov at the back. It's Kuzyev, Zobnin, Ozdoev and Fernandez across the middle. Golovin and Moranchuk, the goal scorer against Finland last time. Partner Artem Zuba up top. Zuba needs one goal to move level Russian record goal scorer with Alexander Kursakov on 30 goals. For Denmark, well, they simply have to win. I know that Belgium do them a favour elsewhere. Unchanged from the loss to Belgium last time out. Schmeichel in goal, Christensen, Kerr, Vestergaard the back three. Vass, Højbjerg, Delaney and Mailer across the middle. Braithwaite and Damsgaard up in support of Yusuf Poulsen, who got the goal against the Belgians. Well, atmosphere-wise, we couldn't ask for any more, Mickey Gray. Denmark's, well, their task is obvious. They've got to win. It's as simple as that.
Yeah, I mean, that was spine-tingling. I think Dan just said that in the build-up. The atmosphere is electric in this stadium, and the Danes have got to get behind that crowd. The players have got to react to that because they're ready for it. They're ready for a performance. Russia have got to be ready for it themselves. They know exactly what's in hand. What a start we're going to have. I wish I was in this stadium tonight. It's electric.
It is indeed. We've missed it, haven't we, this type of atmosphere in football grounds over the last year and a half or so, but it's back tonight at the Parkin Stadium. A tournament that started with so much promise for the Danes, almost went so horribly wrong for them, but they know a win and they will have a chance. Could still finish second in the group, which would mean a trip to Amsterdam to take on Wales on Saturday. We will find out. We'll keep you up to date with the other game as well. Finland taking on Belgium in St. Petersburg. But we are about to get underway, and the Russians all in red against Denmark in their white strip, and the ball headed out over on the far side, and you get the feeling that every challenge won by a Dane tonight is going to be rolled to the rafters.
Yeah, well, I mean, what a start to the game, you know. You want to listen to the crowd, don't you? The hairs on your arms are standing up. The atmosphere is brilliant, Mark, it really is, and I think the game is going to match that also. They know what's at hand. They're all on the front foot. Look, we're very early on into the game, but I think you can see the way the Danes are going to set up. They're going to make it so difficult for this Russian team, and it's going to be very physical as well.
Yeah, they are indeed. Early free kick given against the Russians, and brought forward comes Vestergaard looking to switch the ball diagonally out on the far side, and there's Kudryashov, his first start of the tournament. Cherchesov looks on. He was quite quiet when the Russian anthem was being played. Former Russian goalkeeper. He knows what success would mean for him and his team and his nation tonight. They want to get through to the last 16. Denmark wide on their right-hand side, but they can't keep it in. It's out for a throw to Russia.
Yeah, well, early stages, you can see they're trying to work over to that right-hand side, the Danes. Vass, he's just touching that sideline. They've played a couple of diagonal passes over to that side. Kudryashov, they're going to try and test him out as much as they possibly can, not being involved in the game, so it's a big test for him. Wants to get involved in these Euros as quick as he possibly can. Schmeichel
at the back rolls it out to Vestergaard. Vestergaard just plays it up against Moranchuk, runs a throw in on this near side. So Russia trying to push high up the field and pen the Danes in here. Mailer making his 13th international appearance for Denmark, gets the ball forward, skips away, goes Damsgaard, but he's outnumbered, and Zobnin has it in the centre circle for Russia, who will build from the back. Divyev out on this near side, and they'll play it forward now. Ball's gone out of play though, and that's going to be a throw into Denmark.
Yeah, Fernandez and Zikias trying to work it over on this right hand side. You can see, as I said before, you know, the Danes are going to be on the front foot. They're not going to give them any space. It's going to be very tight in that midfield area until things settle down after about 10 or 15 minutes. But I think it's just trying to get everybody a touch on the ball as early as they possibly can, just to settle those little nerves that you've got before the game.
Ball picked up by Golovin on the far side, feeds it into Zuba. Zuba a man mounting his challenge and the ball's taken off him, but there was a collision there, and it's the Danish player that's gone down. Well, I mentioned he's a man mounting Zuber. He's a big man, isn't he? Looks like heavyweight boxer, didn't he, in the lineup with his nose slightly bent. He towered above his opponents.
Yeah, it's Kjar who's just went down this time. We just having a look at it. I mean, 3 players around Zuber there, and he's not going to let up. Every opportunity he can kind of hustle and bustle these centre-halves, he's going to do it. I think there was a little coming together very early on in the game also, so they're going to try and get it up to Zuber as much as they possibly can, this Russian team. Get him to hold the ball up, and as we mentioned in the build-up, Baranchuk and Golovin over on that left-hand side have to back him up.
Yeah, Kier looked like he had a pectoral injury there, maybe just a bang in his upper chest off Zuber, but we play on. It is 0-0 if you just joined us. Mark Wilson, the former England fullback. Mickey Gray with you here on Talksport 2. Dan Windle back at base. He might have the abacus ready. We might need it in Group B later on. Anything could happen tonight. Ball played forward, looking for Poulsen. He's beaten in the air. It's hooked away by Zakia. Up towards halfway. Sent it back inside the Russian half. And neither side really got the ball down just yet and started playing anything like they can. As Kier goes across and heads it out. It's been a nervy start, I think. Yeah,
it was always going to be fast and frantic. You know, not either side have really got the ball down. They've not kind of took their time on it. But I think what you have seen from the Danish team is working that ball from either of the centre-halves, from the left-hand side, looking to get the ball over on that right-hand side, just looking for space. But, as you said, in the first 10 minutes, Mark, I think it's going to be really difficult to find that space.
Yeah, ball is played forward. They're trying to get it to Kuzyev, but he can't control it for Russia, and it rolls away for a goal kick. It's still scoreless as well. Finland, Belgium, 4 minutes gone there. Earlier on, Holland beating North Macedonia by 3-0, and Austria beating the Ukraine by a 1-0 to guarantee their place in the last 16. Ukraine with 3 points really up against it to get one of those best third place finishes to get through to the next round. Denmark have it inside their own half. They're just looking to play their way forward. Towards halfway they go with Vestergaard. Advances over halfway, feeds it in here, chance on the turn, they'll get it out wide here towards Mæhle towards the edge of the area, down the left hand side, floats across to the far post. He was looking for Poulsen, may fall on the edge of the area for the shot, but it wouldn't sit down for Højbjerg, and they go back to halfway. Better from Denmark though.
Yeah, like to see that. Yannick Vestergaard, who I thought first half of the Premier League season was absolutely outstanding. There wasn't very many better centre-halves. Works it out well to Mæhle. Just wants to come back onto that right foot of his. And by the time he did that, he got 9 Russian players, so it's very hard to pick out a centre-forward.
Here they go again though, Denmark looking to switch play to the near side. Mæhle, full stretch, couldn't keep it in. It was a good idea, and he had space on this left-hand side, but the pass just in front of him, and he couldn't control it with that right foot of his.
Just inches away from Mæhle, just trying to control that, but again he goes with his right foot. Can he stretch out his left foot? Because those balls are going to work tonight. The diagonal pass is something that the Danish side have certainly worked on, with Mæhle on that left hand side and Vass over on the right hand side. They're going to make the pitch as wide and as big as they possibly can.
Sofanov will take the goal kick, just his third appearance for Russia. He's yet to concede. He was beaten against Finland, but the offside flag saved him and his team's blushes. As out comes the goalkeeper and thighs it away. That was a bit nervy from Safanov. It looked like Diviev had that covered.
Yeah, and Poulsen was chasing him down as well. You've got Safanov coming out of his 18-yard area, but you can see, I mean, there was a long ball just played over the back line of this Russian back five. I don't mind that once in a while, because what it does, it stretches the pitch, and then it gives you that little space in that midfield area for the, Delaney or Højbjerg to get hold of the ball and just have a little bit of more composure on the ball.
Ball into the edge of the area here. It's over on the Danish right. Cross comes in towards the far post, headed away by Fernandes. Ball only partially cleared. Højbjerg has it. Missed that penalty against Finland, of course, in their opening game, that maybe would have made their route to the last 16 a little bit easier, but that's been and gone now. They can do nothing about that. 0-0 here. Denmark on the front foot, as you'd expect in Copenhagen, on home soil, roared on by a big crowd. But Russia trying to push them back up the field, and in the end Vestergaard just has to play it long, and it'll be picked up by Ostoev in the midfield. Plays it forward. Zuber was hoping that Vestergaard would miss it, and he didn't, and now Denmark come forward. That looked like handball against Ostoev. The referee will give a free kick just over the halfway line here for Denmark.
Well, apart from Zuber, he's obviously going to put himself around, I think this Russian team look a little bit nervy. As we can see right now, they're getting everybody behind the ball. What that means is the Danish side have got to try and pass the ball through the lines a little bit quicker, but that will come with time. There's no point in taking risks in the first 10 or 15 minutes.
Diagonal ball out wide to the Danish right-hand side, headed down towards Braithwaite, right on the corner of the penalty area. He advances towards the corner flag, looks to put the cross in. Osnoyev with a header. He wanted to head it away for a throw-in, but he got it wrong. It's behind for a corner.
Look at Braithwaite waving on the crowd. He wants the atmosphere through the whole of this game. Good play from him. Taking out two players, just needed a little bit more loft and a little bit more pace on his cross, but that's what he's all about. He's a live wire.
8 gone at the Parkin Stadium, live on Talksport 2. It's 0-0, but Vass is stood over a corner on the right-hand side. He's going to take this. Safanov waits midway in his 6-yard box. The cross comes in towards the far post. The whistle's gone, and it's a free kick against Denmark. There was a push at the back post. They didn't need to be. I think it was Christiansen and Poulsen that were just so far. I think it was Poulsen in the end who just eased Diviev off the ball. Free kick for Russia.
Yeah, decent ball into the area there, and Christiansen is always going to challenge that at the back stick. It's just a little nudge on, so I think it was a foul. What was interesting was the position of Safanov, the goalkeeper. He had Jar, who was actually closer to the goal than the goalkeeper was. Any little deflection from a Russian player, and it's a simple tap-in.
Well, watch Russia's game against Finland. They weren't great, but got that goal right at the end of the first half that settled them down. They didn't create too much. Finland had plenty of chances, and we know that Denmark have had plenty of shots. They just don't score enough goals, but you get the feeling they'll get a sight of goal tonight. Throw in here for Fernandez. Long down the line, it's cleared away. Højbjerg tries to nick it away from Zobnin. Braithwaite can't get the ball, and Russia will come forward now, midway inside the Danish half. They'll go back towards Zakir, who struggled with a calf injury in the last game, but he's fit to take part, and all the way back to Sofanov, who knocks it long and downfield, and Kier just cushions the back header back to Schmeichel.
And the press from Denmark has been absolutely first class. You can see every single player is up for this. Whenever they get the ball at the back, the Russian back line, there's 4 or 5 Danish players closing them down, not giving them that opportunity to get themselves turned, to play through the lines. I think it's been a really positive start. They're just starting to settle down, the Danes, as well, with the football, passing it around, trying to break through the lines. Very, very good start. They have reacted to this crowd, no doubt about it.
Yeah, Vestergaard goes to Kjær, making his 110th appearance for Denmark tonight. Played long now, and here's a chance to get in behind. Delaney's made a good run into the area, but the ball's hooked away from him by Zakir, and out for a throw-in on the far side.
Just his first touch, Delaney there, just let him down. He got in between the centre halves, and he just tried to reach out at all, couldn't really get any contact on that. But again, Christiansen playing a nice diagonal ball. They've tried that quite a lot, and it will work for them.
Here's Braithwaite on the right, curls the ball to the far post. Fernandez, cool as you like, just chests it down to Safanov in goal. Fernandez, who got carried off on a stretch, he had a really nasty looking fall. He landed on his shoulder or his back, and he was carried off the field. He's made a remarkable recovery, and that was a lovely bit of defending.
I'm very surprised actually, Mark, to see him out there. It just shows how much these games mean to these players. Whether you're carrying a little niggle injury, a lot of players do that throughout a season anyway, but this is a game he did not want to miss.
Zuber just slipped there as Denmark advance forward. Poulsen lays it out on the right-hand side. Here goes Braithwaite. Look at the white shirts waiting in the middle. Can Braithwaite deliver? Tries to get to the byline. He gets there now. Now he may need a little bit of support. They're waiting in the middle. He pulls the ball back. That's a nice pass. Can they put the cross into the area from there? They're going to slide it out wide here. A chance now for Mæhle. Mæhle looked like he was going to shoot. Then he goes back to the left-hand side. He's cross-blocked by Fernandez. He'll roll the ball back here to Vestergaard. Vestergaard edge of the area. Look to exchange passes there with Damsgaard. Damsgaard, though, has it. Little flick pass inside. They're still down that left-hand side of the area. Damsgaard just showed too much of it, and it's taken off him by Osnoyev, but won back immediately by Mæhle. Good spell of pressure for Denmark without doing anything, and then Vestergaard just gives it away and then makes it worse by bringing down Zuber. Free kick for Russia inside their own half.
Well, super build-up play from Denmark. Damsgaard, Mailer on this left-hand side. The big problem that they've got, Mark, is they're both trying to chop the ball back onto the right foot. They've got themselves into good areas, a lovely little give and goal. They moved it out to that left-hand side with a lot of pace. But the Russian players, the defenders, have obviously worked on it. They know they're not going to try and cross the ball as much with their left foot. So they wait for them to chop the ball back, and then the opportunity's gone. Vestergaard, a very clever free kick, gives the ball away. And he gives the free kick away in the opposition's half.
He does indeed. 0-0. Zuba the target, can't get the head on it. Is that a foul on the edge of the box? It is. The whistle belatedly went there for a foul on Pierre-Emile Højbjerg, who was fouled as he looked to clear the ball. It's still goalless in the Parken Stadium, Copenhagen. Russia 0, Denmark 0. It's still goalless in St. Petersburg. Finland 0, Belgium 0 as well. There, we'll keep you up to date with that one. You can listen to live commentary across on Talksport. Well, here's Mickey Graham, Mark Wilson with Dan Windle, as Denmark looking to make it through to the last 16, but they need a win and results elsewhere to go in their favour. Schmeichel has it at the back, just waiting, almost encouraging the Russian players to come towards him. He knocks it long. Poulsen is trying to get on the end of it but didn't control it. It's going back inside the Danish half. Kjær will just go over and watch the ball go out for a throw-in, level with the edge of his own area down there, right hand side.
Well, I'd certainly like to see that foot race a little bit more from Golovin, and Vass over on the right hand side for Denmark. Golovin looked as if he's got the beating of him, so a little bit more quality from this Russian team if they can work it out to that left hand side. It could be a real task tonight, that.
A point may be enough for Russia. They'll ideally want all three to guarantee themselves a place in the last 16. And not too much by way of attacking threat at the moment. Denmark are sprinting down their right hand side. Poulsen, can he keep it in? He did. And now they need to react, but Diviev will clear it away from the byline. But every throw-in they win down that end of the field is being roared to the rafters. And here's Poulsen again. He scored against Belgium. He feeds the ball to Damsgaard, who has just eased off it. And now Zuba on the edge of his own area will work it out on the left as Russia look to counter-attack, but they've lost the ball, turned it over. Poulsen picks it up on the right. He's then dispossessed. Just needs to be a little bit stronger, Poulsen, doesn't he?
Yeah, he certainly does, but what a race for him. 70-yard ball down the line, never gave it up, just kept it in play. Well, that's what you want, determination from the players. I said about stretching the pitch, Mark, and they've got to do that a lot more. We've just seen a replay here of Zuba. He's going to do that all day long. The physicality side of him, that's what he's all about. Messing centre-halves around and just trying to upset the flow of this Danish team. I think Russia have actually started the game very nervously. They're not getting the ball down, they're not getting the foot on the ball. They have to try and control it at certain parts of this game.
Ball played over the top, looking for Braithwaite, headed away by Diviev. Headed towards the halfway line, picked up over on the far side by Golovin. And now they'll look to play their way out with Kuzyev, who's having to go back towards his own area, and they've given it away. Højbjerg has it on the halfway line. Denmark would love a goal here to really set them off and make the Russians worried. But it remains goalless here. We've had around about 15 minutes at the Parken Stadium. 0-0 as well. Finland, Belgium. Ball going forward now. Denmark have it on their near side. Joachim Mæhle has it. Again, just has to go back to the halfway line. Vestergaard looks for the options. Braithwaite made a run, but they went back to Kjær. And they're looking to build, but Russia this time putting a squeeze on. They have to go all the way back to Schmeichel.
Well, we haven't had the shots that we probably thought that we might see from this Danish team so far in this game. 43, I think it was, up to the count. But what I would say is the tempo of this game is very, very high. Can they keep that up, or are they just trying to use that press and the high-intensity runs to try and get themselves a stranglehold in this game, and then they've got something where they can look and maybe start to dictate what goes on for the remainder of the game?
It's interesting that Russia against Finland play quite a high line and put the press on. They're sitting back here against Denmark, but Zobnin's nicked the ball back, and the break could be on here for Russia as they flood forward here with Golovin. He's in on goal, a chance to shoot on his right foot, saved by the legs of Schmeichel. It was straight at the keeper, but that was a chance. Here now is Fernandez, goes for the volley. It gets way under and it goes high over the crossbar. Well, Alexander Golovin The first real chance for Russia on the break, onto the edge of the area, and he shoots straight at the goalkeeper.
Well, it doesn't matter how you start the game, it's if you can improve as the game goes on, and Golovin there, he's done absolutely fantastic. He's got away from the three centre-halves, he's worked it onto his right foot. Kasper Schmeichel's basically just got to stand and make himself as big as he possibly can. He's done that, he saves it with his feet, but Yannick Vestergaard in the centre circle, giving the ball away so cheaply to Zobnan, just plays the ball into Golovin. It was something that we spoke about before the game. Get him on the ball, because he is the one who has got the big threat running at defenders.
Still 0-0, 18 on the clock. Mark Wilson and Mickey Gray here live on Talksport 2. Tomorrow, huge night of football. Czech Republic, England, 8 o'clock kickoff at Wembley live on Talksport. As a ball to Højbjerg, just couldn't bring it down on the edge of the Russian area. It's cleared away again by Fernandez, but Zuba can't get anything on it. And Denmark are getting the ball back. The breaking news tonight, by the way, Mason Mount and Ben Chilwell self-isolating after contact with Scotland player Billy Gilmore, who tested positive earlier on today. He's ruled out of Croatia's game with Scotland. You can hear that live tomorrow night right here on Talksport 2, 8 o'clock kickoff at Hampden Park.
Yeah, it's crazy news really, isn't it, Mark, when we obviously know what's being gone and they have to go through the protocol. It is very, very difficult for these players, but you know, I'm not saying they're hugely experienced players, but they should know who to go and speak to and how long for. Yeah.
Disappointment all round, really. Here goes Fernandez forward for Russia down the right-hand side. Jeered as he gets the ball away to Miranchuk. Here's Zuba, back to goal. He's going to hit it first time. Sliced it behind. He was pretty ineffective against Finland. He is the big target man, but couldn't get his shot on target there.
Yeah, well, again, you see just a little replay of that opportunity that Golovin just had. But going back to that incident, a few seconds ago, that's what Zuba is all about. You've got to get the ball into him in that 18-yard area. You cannot shake him off. Centre-halves try and run round him. By the time they do that, he gets on the half-turn. He gives himself an opportunity to get his strike away. But what I would like to see is the two wider midfield players or forward players backing him up a little bit, because he doesn't lose the ball. If he can chest it down, it gives Golovin, Miranchuk the opportunity to get a little bit closer to him, and they will create chances if they do that more.
Yeah, it will. Still goalless here, 20 on the clock, still goalless St. Petersburg. Finland, Belgium, as it stands, Belgium would be group winners. Russia in second and Finland in third would have 4 points, but that's as it stands. Plenty will go on in the next hour or so here across Talksport Network. As forward again now, this time Miranchuk breaking forward, gets it to Zobnin, tried to square the ball and it came off Christiansen, and with Schmeichel off his line it loops over him but goes behind for a corner kick.
Well, I talk about the urgency that these Danish players have shown us, and they really are. They're trying to make something happen, but be a bit more clever with the ball. Do not give it away in areas like that 4v3 situation for Russia there. They've got everybody running forward. Just that final pass that was missing from a quality move yet again.
Well, we mentioned that Russia is sitting a little bit deeper, but that's twice they've pounced on errors from Denmark and twice they've got in on goal, but this time it was a deflection, took the ball behind. The corner for Russia. Down their left-hand side, Schmeichel organising the white shirts in and around him. It's going to be taken by Miranchuk. Floats it towards the far post. The whistle's gone, and it will be for a foul on Simon Kjær, the Danish player, and it's a free kick to Denmark.
Yeah. Just falls to ground there. He's got a couple of players around him. Jikia, I think it was, who pulled him down. Just stand your ground. You've got big physical guys in there. Ask the question of this back line of Denmark and see if they can clear the lines. If not, opportunities will come.
They will indeed. Denmark up towards halfway. They've not yet forced Matt Vysafinov into a save, really, away to our left-hand side. But here now forward comes Vestergaard. Lays it back for Andreas Christiansen, the Chelsea man. And the ball now comes near side. Here's Jukka Mæhle on the left, going towards the edge of the area. He's looking for a give and go in the area. Got the ball back, but he just overran it, although he's won it off Fernandez, but only after he'd fouled the fullback. And Clement Turpin, the referee from France, quickly on the whistle. Still 0-0.
Yeah, Mæhle there. I think he was running down a very dark alleyway, wasn't he? He wasn't going to get anywhere with that. 3 Russian players around him. And he had to commit the foul in the end. He was just trying to keep the ball in play. I mean, he's asking the referee now why. because you're shoving defenders to the ground. You know, it's difficult. You're trying a little bit of momentum. You're trying to get in behind them. It is very, very difficult at the moment. Be patient.
It's a tight old group, Group B. He's forward now, come Russia again. Miranchuk, not the best pass over on the far side to Dalakuzyev, but he gets possession back on halfway. A dummy from Golovan was well read by Denmark. Here now is Poulsen. Again loses out though, this time to Ostoyev, and Ostoyev goes forward over the halfway line, rides a couple of challenges, slides in, ball breaks on the far side, but the offside flag has gone up against Golovan, who kicks the ball away in frustration. And I think the referee's just going to have a polite word with him as he goes past, not to do that again.
Yeah, we've seen a few silly little fouls like this, haven't we, where they don't really need to do it, just stay on your feet. What I would say, Mark, is over the last 5 or 6 minutes, we've talked about the front line of Russia, the game stretching now. If they get the ball up to Zhuba, we know that Miranchuk he's got a wonderful left foot. You give him time and space, he'll get himself turned, he'll try and make things happen, but they're now starting to play a little bit closer together and making it hard for Denmark.
Yeah, Denmark just momentarily down to 10 as Martin Braithwaite changes his boots on the sideline. Ball up towards halfway. Denmark will get a free kick. And there was a foul earlier in the move on Mikkel Damsgaard over on the far side. Only his 5th appearance. He's already got 2 goals for Denmark. What he'd give for one tonight.
Absolutely. He said, you know, a lot of weight on his shoulders, taken over from that position of probably Christian Eriksen. I'm sure he's not feeling that right now. He just wants to get the result for his country.
Here's the ball for Højbjerg, made a good run in behind Kudryashov over on the far side. It's played away, won back by Delaney. Ball just inside the Russian half. Here is Damsgaard, beaten to it. Couldn't feed the ball forward. Zuma can't control it either, and now is a chance for Denmark. Simon Kjær over on that right-hand side, gives a little back heel. Here the ball fed into Poulsen, back to goal, 25 yards out, and again Ostoyev just takes it off him, and again just a slight hand on the back. Ostoyev goes down, and it's a free kick to Russia.
Poulsen has a couple of times now, isn't he? He's got a little bit scrappy, just be patient. Because Uzdiev, I beg your pardon, has got to try and get himself out of a situation. He's running towards his own corner flag. He's got to get himself turned. Then he has to clear his lines. If you stand up as a forward player, there's 9 times out of 10 he's going to probably play the ball off you. Just have to be a little bit more patient.
25 gone, live on Talksport 2. Mark Wilson and Mickey Gray, the former England fullback, with you. Finland 0, Belgium 0. You can listen to that one live on Talksport right now. Download the app, the easiest way to listen to all the games from the Euros. Russia have won a free kick, and at the moment Russia are on top in this battle. Golovin has it over on the far side. They need it. A point may well do them, Mickey, and at the moment you'd have to say they look well set to get that.
Yeah, no question about it. I think, you know, the further this first half is growing, they're coming into the game. The 3 forward players are now starting to find a little bit of space, and when they get themselves into those, look, they've had one great opportunity, a super save from Kasper Schmeichel. Another occasion, 4v3. And this is because Denmark know what's at stake. They have to go and try and get a goal from somewhere.
The home fans at the Parkin Stadium not happy with how long Russia have taken over this free kick, and the referee's pointing to his watch saying, look, get on with it. Well, if they are time wasting, they've got an awful lot of it to do. 26 on the clock, still Russia 0, Denmark 0. Played short, then floated in towards the far post, headed away. Round about the 6-yard line, Zakir gets it out wide for Mario Fernandes. He's beaten to the ball, and Mæhle will win the throw-in for Denmark.
Uzdiev again, doing really well, just trying to flick the ball inside. Kushev making that overlapping run. You sense a little bit of confidence now growing into this Russian team. You know, what the Danes have to do, and they've got them at the moment, is keep the support on their side. Have that 12th man. Because when that atmosphere is high, it just brings out something different in players.
Well, with Højbjerg, couldn't control it. Ostoyev just eased off Delaney off the ball there. But then it's won back by Mæhle, who did really well. Turns, advances down the left-hand side, goes past one. Gets the ball to Poulsen, it's then hammered across field. They're looking for Damsgaard on that far side, and he may get the ball back. There's a strong challenge gone in, but Damsgaard has come away with it, and as he advanced forward, the referee here is going to dish a yellow card out. He blows for the foul on the far side. It was a strong challenge from Fedor Kudryashov, the replacement today, his first appearance of the tournament, and he's in the book.
Kudryavtsev is a very fortunate man in my book there. I mean, it looks like he's got eyes on the player rather than the ball. He knows he's made a mistake. He's got two Danish players honing down on him, and he had to make that foul, but the referee has just gone across there. Clement Turpin straight away pulled out that yellow card.
He did. The ball played in down the Russian left-hand side. It's down by the corner flag. Zobnin's back defending as Højbjerg does well. Gets the ball into the edge of the area. Chance here to cut in for the attacking player Damsgaard, but he just went without it. Had his touch have been better, he may well have found himself in on goal. That's the best we've seen for a while from Denmark.
Yeah, good play from Damsgaard. Nice little interchange with a couple of passes. Got himself into the 18-yard box. Two Russian defenders had to stand their ground, and if you get those challenges wrong, we know exactly what's coming.
Don't forget, tomorrow night, live on Talksport, Czech Republic against England. Stuart Pearce is with Sol Campbell and Jim Proud for our commentary team for that one. And on Talksport 2, Croatia, Scotland, Alex Crook and Chris Uilumo, our team for that. Download the Talksport app, available in all the usual places, and you won't miss a game of UEFA Euro 2020. Schmeichel's clearance was a poor one. Delaney did really well. Got the ball away to Poulsen. He gets it out wide on that right-hand side, and forward now comes Vass. Feeds it into Højbjerg, 25 yards out. He's going to shoot, and it's gone in. No, just wide of the target. It hit the stanchion behind the post. The net balls, but it's the wrong side. Still 0-0.
Wow, I mean, you can see the goalkeeper there, Safanov. He's diving across to his right-hand side. It must have been very, very close. And Højbjerg, of all people, taking the strike on, 25 yards out, worked really well on that right-hand side. Vass does really well. Just plays a simple little square ball into his feet, one touch out of his feet, and he absolutely bullets that one towards goal. Great strike.
Kasper Hjulmand, the Danish manager, he thought that had gone in as well. It inches wide, remains Russia 0, Denmark 0. Almost the moment, but they just last couple of minutes, Denmark starting to get more bodies forward again, Mickey.
Yeah, starting to test the Russian goalkeeper now. We talked about the possession that they've had, and obviously been on the front foot and pressing whenever they get the opportunity, but that's as close as they've come. Super strike from Højbjerg, and good play.
Schmeichel almost let that ball run perilously close to his goal line, but cleared it about a yard off the line. Cool as you like, Kasper Schmeichel. All played forward for Braithwaite, but it's straight into the arms of Safanov, and he was at full stretch for that shot on goal from Højbjerg, but he's not a save to make yet.
No, he hasn't. I think he'd be very happy with that. He'd be speaking to his back line and obviously trying to organise them as much as he possibly can. They don't really look too nervy. You can sense they're still trying to play that long ball through the Danes, trying to get Poulsen in behind the three centre-halves. It's Kasper Schmeichel in the last couple of minutes who's kind of put his team under a little bit of pressure. One nearly rolled over his goal line. Another one he played simple into the centre circle, and fortunately for him, Delaney was on his toes to win the ball back for him.
Half an hour gone at the Parken Stadium in Copenhagen. Russia 0, Denmark 0. It's still goalless between Finland and Belgium in St. Petersburg. Belgium very much in the ascendancy there, and Denmark need Belgium to win that game if they've got any chance of making it to second place in the group. But first of all, they've got to take care of their own bit of business, and it's 0-0 at the moment. And this first half just dribbling by from a Danish perspective. Ball out to the near side. Joachim Mæhle has it, plays it forward. There's a bit of a wrestling match there, and Damsgaard is deemed to have fouled Fernandes. It's a free kick on the halfway line.
I mean, Fernandes goes straight to ground there. I think there is a little bit too much contact from Damsgaard. But again, all become from Kasper Schmeichel playing the ball over to the left-hand side. Mæhle, all he can do is head it to try and keep it in play. They give up possession, then Russia on the front foot, and you know exactly what's coming now.
Offside against Artem Zuba, and that's unforgivable, really, from a free kick.
Absolutely, Mark. It's a let-off from somebody like Zuba. Hugely experienced centre forward. He's got to know that back line. Just stand your ground. Look, he's 6'4", 6'5". It's very difficult to get it across the top of him to try and clear your lines. Stays onside. He's got a couple of runners in behind him. Crazy.
Ball on halfway. Mæhle gets it forward. Damsgaard wanted to run to that, and Poulsen took it off him, and Damsgaard was advancing on the last line of defence, and now they've lost the ball, and Delaney slides in, and that will be another free kick to Russia, and every free kick, even though we're only in the first half, taking an eternity to be taken, as Russia know that a point may well see them through.
They're giving these fouls away, Denmark, but they seem to be in the opposition's half. This time Delaney or Moranchuk just trying to drift onto that left foot yet again, because they know the threat that he's got if you give him half a yard.
Zuba this time wins the header, gets it out wide to Galakuzyev, lays it down the line for Golovan. Golovan with a cross towards Zuba, headed away by Kerr at the near post, and out for a throw-in level with the edge of the Danish penalty area on the Danish right-hand side.
You just see there Zuba saying to his wide players, just get a little bit more height on it. There's 3 centre-halves in there. If you want me to battle with it, you've got to get it above 6 foot. You've got to leap on him, just float them in there sometimes, because he's such a presence.
Yeah, scored 9 goals in the qualification process for Russia. He flicks the ball on from the throw-in. It's headed away by Yannick Vestergaard. Picked up though here, and Zakir will have the ball. He just punts it towards Zuba. Ball headed down. Chance for the shot from the edge of the area, and it's skied over by Alexander Golovan. That was a chance for a player of his ability, but he couldn't keep it down. Still, Russia 0, Denmark 0.
Well, in a nutshell, that's what Russia should be doing, the way they've just played that. The ball goes into Zuba, he holds it up, he brings in Golovan, or maybe it's Moranchuk. On this occasion, Golovan with his right foot. He's had that save from Schmeichel already. This time he's just got to get his head over it, his laces over it, try and take a little bit of pace off it, but you've got to test the goalkeeper.
0-0 here, 0-0, Finland, Belgium. Live on Talksport right now. Another poor kick from Schmeichel. He got away with that one, but the ball picked up by Russia on halfway. They'll feed it forward. Zuba chests the ball down to Ostoyev. Ostoyev down the channel here. Zuba tries to pull it back, needs to keep it in, and it goes out. The big striker couldn't keep the ball under his control, and it's behind, much to the delight of the Danish fans around that goal for a goal kick.
What he lacks, Zuba, in pace, he makes up for in physicality, doesn't he? But he's still willing to run in behind, which I give him a lot of credit for. This occasion just tries a little reverse pass, but I mean, how many times is that now, Mark? They've played it up to Zuba, and 8-9 times out of 10 he wins the first ball. He's got to have those willing midfield runners to help him out, because those knockdowns are key in a game like this.
They are indeed. Denmark just got themselves into a spot of bother there, but Joachim Mæhle did really well to get the ball forward. In the end, it goes all the way through to Matt Vysophanov, the Russian goalkeeper. Clearance is won back by Russia in the centre circle. Vestergaard to Mæhle, back to Vestergaard inside his own half. We approaching the final 10 minutes of the half here on Talksport 2, and it's still Russia 0, Denmark 0. All the Sunderland and England fullback Mickey Gray with us tonight. And Denmark at the moment, Mickey, not doing enough.
No, absolutely not. When you're thinking maybe they might actually need 2 goals to go through to the knockout stages. I think the quality in the final third has got to be a little bit better. But what I would say is, it's been an entertaining game, end to end. Yes, we haven't had too many great opportunities. The one from Golovan is probably the best of the bunch. But the energy levels that both sets of players are showing out there, they're giving their all.
Still goalless here and goalless in St. Petersburg. Just a reminder, that means Belgium top the group and Russia would come second. Finland would be third, and hoping for one of the best third place finishes on 4 points. Here though goes Andreas Christiansen, gets the ball away to Højbjerg, who's come the nearest for Denmark. His shot from the edge of the area, neat play here for Mæhle, gets in behind, puts the cross into the far post. Braithwaite just beaten to it. Christiansen gets the ball out on the right, comes back in, chance at the far post. Fernandez heads it away, and Zuba there just hooks the ball over his shoulder, but Russia can't get out at the moment. Can Mæhle keep this ball in on the byline? He does initially. Fernandez though, good fullback play, and clears the ball forward, but again Denmark are going to get it back. This is their best spell. 36 on the clock. Damsgaard out wide to Højbjerg. There's a slip there and it's cleared away by Russia, but there's no outball at the moment. They can't get over the halfway line.
Brilliant tempo from the Danish side, really well worked over to the left hand side. Mæhle, this time, look, if you're not going to use your left foot, just put the ball in with the outside of your right foot. Sweet little ball into the 6-yard area, comes back out to him, and that battle between himself, Mæhle and Fernandez is absolutely great. Who's going to come out on top?
Here's Damsgaard, goes for the cross towards Poulsen. It was headed away by Kudryashov, and it needed to be as well. Right over on that far side, Daniel Vass just dispossessed, and Russia will try and work their way down the touchline, but they've run the ball out of play. And more pressure coming in, 8 to the break. Russia 0, Denmark 0, but Denmark's best spell of the match so far.
Yeah, absolutely. Kudryashov had to get his header right. To him at the back stick, I think it is him. Super header. He's got 2 Danish players just drifting in off the back of him, but the ball just again had to have a little bit more height on it. But they are putting a lot of pressure on this back line of Russia right now.
Here's a chance, edge of the area. Damsgaard with a shot! And he has scored! Mikkel Damsgaard, the 20-year-old, has curled the right foot shot in past Safanov, and Denmark explodes in ecstasy. They have the goal that could see them through to the knockout phases. Russia 0, Denmark 1.
Oh, what a goal. You talked about that pressure from Denmark over the last 2 or 3 minutes. They've been on an onslaught towards the Russian goal, and you're just waiting for that little bit of brilliance. They work it well into the centre of the field. They end up just getting to Damsgaard, 1 touch out of his feet, and sublime. Curls it round. Sorinov, super finish. And listen to that atmosphere. This is what this crowd have been waiting for. He's done that for his team, of course. He's done it for his country. But I think in this moment, we're all thinking of Christian Eriksen. Absolutely outstanding finish to give Denmark the lead in this game.
What a strike. The keeper had no chance. It's right in the top corner. Damsgaard's 3rd goal in just his 5th appearance for Denmark. He's not yet 21. What a moment for him. What a moment for Denmark. Russia now have it all to do. It's Russia 0, Denmark 1, live on Talksport 2. And that was the goal this game needed.
Oh, it's brilliant. I mean, just listen to that atmosphere, Mark, in this stadium now. We talked about wishing that we were in there now. It must be electric. And we talked also about Damsgaard and the weight on his shoulders, taking over that position from Christian Eriksen. Well, I think he's just repaid that. Young man, full of confidence. He had one thought in his mind, out of his feet, just curling into that top left-hand corner. Brilliant finish.
Only made his international debut in November last year. But that was a moment of pure quality. The right foot shot right into the top corner. Safanov no chance, and Russia now very nervy as Denmark come forward again. They chance for a second. Poulsen here trying to chip the goalkeeper and crosses it just across the face of goal. Here now is Mæhle, swings in the cross to the far post. It's headed behind for a corner. Denmark not happy with one, they want more.
Well, they're putting so much pressure on this back line of Russia. They're working it either side, left and right. Again, Poulsen gets himself into a good area. I'm not too sure if he's trying to flick it over Sovinov or he's just trying to find somebody at the back stick there, but he's just waiting for bodies. But the onslaught of the players just pushing everything forward, searching out for this second goal.
Corner kick then here for the Danes, and a chance before the break to double their advantage. 4.5 to go. Floated towards the far side. Vestergaard with a header back across goal, delayed. He just couldn't get the touch on it. Safanov at full stretch. If that had got a touch from Delaney, it would have been a certain goal.
I mean, where's the defending? It takes them an age, the Russian defenders, to get out to Vestergaard. He has to be the biggest threat in this Denmark team. He gets a full head on it. He gets in between 2 markers. He's just trying to drift it into that bottom left-hand corner, wait for any touch whatsoever. Great opportunity, great corner.
Ball comes forward from the back for Russia. Safanov knocks it long, but Denmark are first to every ball at the moment. Here's the hero of Copenhagen, Mikkel Damsgaard, dispossessed on this occasion. Just saw there Stanislav Cherchesov really animated on the sideline. His side, as it stands, the bottom of the group and going home. Still goalless, Finland, Belgium. Got that on the monitors here in London, and it has been all Belgium, but it remains goalless. That game is live on Talksport right now. There is a stoppage in play here, Danish player getting some treatment. Well, it's been fast and furious, but the moment of quality came from a 20-year-old Mikkel Damsgaard. What a finish, Mickey Gray.
It's outstanding, it really is. I think the more you watch it, it's kind of like a free kick, the technique in what he does. He just drifts it out of his right foot. and then he gets that whip, but he also gets the dip, and it just comes in below the crossbar. It's a super finish. You see the manager celebrating now. But Mark, I just hope this tempo is with us in the second 45 minutes, because it's been non-stop. The players are having a little bit of a breather now because of the injury. They probably need it.
Yeah, they do indeed. It was Højbjerg, wasn't it, who went down. He's just come off to the near side. He should be back on imminently. 42 and a half on the stopwatch. We're live on Talksport 2. Mark Wilson and Mickey Gray. Russia 0, Denmark 1. The goal they need to give them hope. All out for a throw-in on the near sides. And every challenge is being roared to the rafters. Appeals going in everywhere. Kasper Gulmund on the near side looks quite relaxed, doesn't he, in his black shirt and trousers.
I bet he's not inside, Mark.
Well, his reaction to the goal told everything, didn't it? The outpouring of relief, the sheer ecstasy, because his side is still alive. Russia then know that they need a goal now to keep their hopes alive. What about that chance earlier on for Alexander Golovin? That was the best chance really of the game, wasn't it?
Huge, absolutely huge. Certainly at a point in the game where Denmark were on top. It was their first opportunity to counter-attack this Russian team. They forced probably the man you wanted to in Golovin. He worked it so well in between three Danish players. And Kasper Schmeichel, all he could do was make himself big. He stood his ground, and it was probably the right thing to do. He cleared his lines, but it was an opportunity that you're thinking Golovin has got to put that in the back of the net to make a game of this.
Still a goal to nil. We tick along to the final minute of the half. We'll have a little bit of added on time in the Parken Stadium, Copenhagen. Well, the ball cleared forward by Denmark. The goal on 38 minutes of the highest quality from a young man just starting out in his international journey. You get the feeling he's going to have plenty more opportunities for Denmark with performances like this one. Russia on the halfway line. They look like a team that could do with half-time, Mickey, at the minute.
Yes, yeah, they look really nervy. They can't get the ball out their own half. The ball's now bouncing back off Zuba when they try and get it up to him. Golovin and Moranchuk and not getting involved in the game, and it's Denmark just winning the ball up high and keeping this press going.
Damsgaard gets the ball out wide to Braithwaite. Braithwaite skips past his man, drives the cross in low, it's cleared near post, falls to Damsgaard. Damsgaard puts the cross and it lands on the roof of the net. A chance goes begging for Denmark.
Martin Braithwaite has done ever so well. Skips away from his full-back. He's got so much time. He even gets his head up and has a little look, but he gets no loft on the ball at all. It's very difficult. It does fall to Damsgaard. He can't keep it on the island. Just puts it on the top of the netting behind the crossbar. But again, you see these Danish players, everybody is closing down to a man. They're working this as a treat.
Into one added on minute of additional time at the end of the first half. Schmeichel, right-footed, clears it up towards halfway. Poulsen challenges for the ball. Zuba won it, but it bounces back the other way, and in the end it's Zakir who tidies things up. Now gets Russia going forward. Neat bit of skill on the far side, and still coming forward here now is Ozdaev. Ozdaev on the right puts in the cross to the far post. It's headed away, but only as far as Zobnin. Russia just miscontrolled it with Golovin. Golovin now trying to get to the edge of the area. Exchanges passes now. Are they going to try and get a shot away here? They need to hurry up, Russia. They're running out of time, and they go back to the halfway line, and the whistle for half-time blows. Well, Denmark started off reasonably well. They had an early shot from the edge of the area from Pierre-Emil Højbjerg that was inches wide of the target. At the other end, the best chance of the game fell to Alexander Golovin. He was one-on-one, but Kasper Schmeichel saved with his feet. And then just 7 minutes before the break, a moment of pure quality. Mikael Damsgaard picking the ball up in the D on the edge of the area, right-footed, curled it into the top corner, and the Parken Stadium exploded into life at the break. Denmark still very much in UEFA Euro 2020. They lead. It's Russia 0, Denmark 1. Cheers, Dan. Teams out for the second half then at the Parken Stadium that is in full voice. Buoyant after that goal for Mikael Damsgaard in the first half. Denmark may well need another goal to get themselves through, but they also need Belgium to beat Finland, and at the moment that is goalless. So we wait here, no changes at the start of the second half. The whistle goes and we are back underway. Denmark leading by a goal to nil. Quickly going forward, the ball headed away by Diviev, and Denmark have it high up the field, but Russia will try and break here. Zobnin does well alongside Golovin. Golovin's pass out wide, a foul there, an unnecessary foul given away as well, but there's actually an injury to the fullback, isn't it? Vestergaard has gone down. In fact, it's Mailer, isn't it, who's gone down with an injury, having committed the foul.
Yeah, he's just got a nasty little one on his shin there, Mailer. Very, very sore, those. Ball just gets away from you. Two legs collide with each other. No malice in it whatsoever. They just take a good 30 seconds to a minute to rub off, and I've just seen it. He's looked planted in the ground there as well. They're never nice. Any contact with your shins, although you have got your shin guards on. They're like a sheet of paper these days, the ones that they wear, Mark, so you feel every little knock.
Yeah, they're not the most powerful bit of equipment, and he is down here. This is a worry. It looks like they are. You mentioned he got his studs caught. It looks like they're looking at the inside of his knee at the moment. This is a worry for Denmark.
Yeah. Well, let's hope he's going to be okay. We talked about that first half from Naylor, working over on the left-hand side. Looks like he's going to be okay. He's sat up at the moment, probably just getting a little bit of treatment, just having that little breather that he needs. He will probably have to go off to the side of the football pitch, which he is doing right now. But again, you can still sense that atmosphere in the stadium. The more this second half goes on, it's going to get intense.
It is. Russia know they need a goal. It's as simple as that. As it stands, they are bottom of Group B. A point may be enough to get them through to the last 16. They launch the ball into the area. It's partially cleared away. Forward on this near side is Golovin, who was caught after the ball went out of play, with the referee happy. It is a throw-in. Kudryashov will take it. Booked in the first half. He's not looked too comfortable either defensively. Can he produce something here from the throw-in? Looking to get it into the area. Goes long towards Zubo. Wins the header. Didn't really know where it had gone, but it's not cleared convincingly. Ozdoev goes back to Diviev in the halfway line, and they'll have to go all the way back to Safanov.
What a shame that is. You get yourself into a really advanced area alongside the 18-yard box of your opposition team, and I'm sure they did it on a couple of occasions in the first half, put some long throws into the box just to try and find Zuba. Why not stick with that plan? I said before, the physical side of him, the height of him, any little knockdowns, flick-ons, players running off him, gives you a better chance than rather than going back to your goalkeeper having to start again. It
does indeed. Ball played forward here by Russia. They have it on their left-hand side. They're looking to work things forward. We're back underway as well in St. Petersburg. They've been playing a couple of minutes. That's live on Talksport. The ball towards Zuba. Challenges for the ball. It's not dealt with initially by Denmark, but then Højbjerg will win the header, and it's poked forward by the goal scorer Damsgaard. And Russia have it again deep in their own half. And now they'll look to build forward on this near side with Dala Kuzyev, and the ball's out for a throw into Denmark.
Well, that ball into the area from Russia there, into Zuba, it's not the best ball in the world, but he makes something of it. He makes Kjar make a challenge on him. It's a 50-50.
Well, there's been a head clash here on the near side of the field. Referee actually played advantage to Denmark, but he's going to come back now, and that did look like a head clash. Let me give you the lineups then. Schmeichel in goal for Denmark, a back three of Vestergaard, Kjær and Christensen. It's Mæhle, Højbjerg, Delaney and Vass in the middle, with Braithwaite and Damsgaard up in support of Yusuf Poulsen. For the Russians, Matvei Safanov in goal. Kudryashov was the one change, Zakir and Diviev the back three. Fernandez, Ozdoev, Zobnin and Kuzyev across the middle, with Golovin and Miranchuk up in support of Artem Zuba. And that was a pretty nasty head clash, and the Russian player down is Fedor Kudryashov, and he looks in a little bit of discomfort at the minute.
Yeah, just seen a little replay of it there, Martin. I mean, it was a clash of heads, and it looked like initially Hjorberg was the one who came off worse. But Kudryashev has stayed on the ground. I'm not too sure how much contact's been there, but they're obviously going to be cautious at the moment. Oh, it's nasty. Hilberg's not really looking at Kudryashev coming in from behind him. He's just trying to flick it and clear his lines. Kudryashev being very brave. We saw that one in the first half where he actually got the yellow card from. His timing for these challenges has been a little bit off this evening, but yeah, he looks in a real state at the moment.
He's up on his feet now, and he is going to be checked over by the doctor. We are playing on here at the Parkin Stadium. 5 gone. You're live on Talksport 2 with Mark Wilson, Mickey Gray, Dan Windle. Don't forget, a huge night tomorrow night. Czech Republic, England, live on Talksport. Croatia, Scotland on Talksport 2. All the build-up to both those games from 6. And there may well be some more COVID-related news ahead of those 2 games to come yet. So the drama could just be unfolding. As a ball played forward by Safanov. Zuba did well. He tried to get it away to Miranchuk, but the ball's cleared away. Denmark have it on their left-hand side. And here now is the head bandage Højbjerg. So a little bit of blood coming from his head, but he carries on anyway. Lays it back here to Damsgaard, who's encouraged to shoot, but instead he finds Braithwaite. Did well to lay it back to Daniel Vass. Gets it up back to Braithwaite. Here now is Andreas Christiansen. A little slip in the middle of the park, and Christensen in the end gets it back off Damsgaard, and they have to build again from just inside the Russian half. It's still 0-0 Finland-Belgium. It means at the moment Belgium will win the group, Finland will go through second, and Denmark will be third, but only 3 points for them. And if it does stay this way, it would mean that England are through to the last 16 with their 4 points already. As a crossfield ball, they tried to get Fernandez away, as he kept it in, though he couldn't. That was unlucky there for the Russians.
Yeah, and again, they've got to start committing bodies a little bit further forward, which was initially a minute and a half ago. Damsgaard easily played in down the left-hand side, and I think the wing-backs of Russia have now started to press a little bit further forward, getting to the point in this football match, Mark, where they've got to take risks. They've got to go and try and get that equalising goal, because at the moment they're finding themselves under a little bit pressure.
A goal to 0 for Denmark, but Finland at the moment are holding on against Belgium. Denmark have got to make sure they get all 3 points here. There's a ball headed forward by Russia. Kjær with an unconvincing header, and it's picked up by Golovin. Golovin lays it back to the halfway line. Russia not in a particular hurry at the moment. Igor Diviev gets the ball out wide on the far side, and Zakir is going to have to go all the way back to his goalkeeper. It's not too convincing, is it, at the moment from Russia?
Well, Denmark could be very happy if the ball keeps going back to Savoronov in that Russia goal. They're just ticking down time. Yes, there's still a long way to go.
Here's Poulsen trying to chase down, but Diviev was across there, the CSKA Moscow defender. Nice challenge, and they're all out for a throw and level with the edge of the Russian penalty area.
Yeah, fantastic challenge there from Diviev. That's what you want from your centre-half. Poulsen, we know he's got a lot of pace. Had to time that well, and he certainly did that.
Ball now with Højbjerg, that bandage on his head, tries to play it over the top of Vass, pulls it back to the penalty spot for Braithwaite, couldn't control it, and it's cleared away by Russia. Well, Vass was very unselfish there, and now going the other end. Golovin was trying to get on the end of a Zuba flick on, but it's through to Schmeichel.
Hey Mark, you took the words out of my mouth with Vass. I mean, it's a great ball in from Hilberg, and Vass gets away from his marker, and you're just thinking to yourself, the angle wasn't so tight. He could have went for goal, he could have got a shot on target. Selfishness or unselfishness, he just tried to pull it back towards the 18-yard area, when I think better option was to go at goal.
Well, it would have been some finish had he volleyed it in, but he opted not to shoot. Ball won unfairly by Delaney on halfway. Miranchuk wins a free kick. It was very high, wasn't it? It was very awkward, and to be fair, should Braithwaite have tried to hit it first time?
Yeah, his first touch just let him down, didn't it, Braithwaite? So maybe give him a disservice there, Vass on the right-hand side. He was probably on the corner of the 6-yard area, and he has picked out Braithwaite. It's a lovely little pullback, but Braithwaite's first touch, it's got to stick, it's got to be better than that. If not, as you just mentioned there, just strike it first time.
Well, a goal for Russia would certainly flatten the atmosphere at the Parkin Stadium, but they've given away a free kick. Russia, Zuba again. He always looks innocent to me, Mickey. He's always got a big smile on his face, but he is a nightmare for the centre-half, isn't he?
Wily old fox, using his experience. It's either a shove in the side or he's just making a nuisance of himself. but I think he's the best option for Russia at the moment. I don't know if he can continue for the whole of this game. I'm sure he'll want to, but they have to try and bring him into play a lot more than what they have done, because when it goes up to him, he's causing big problems. Go back to that Braithwaite opportunity just before that, Mark, as well. I think in the game before he had 7 shots and 1 on target in the game prior to this one. Maybe he just got that little lack of confidence in front of goal.
Maybe he has. The Danish fans are singing their team forward. It's a passionate display on and off the field in Copenhagen tonight. We all know what's happened to the Danish camp throughout this tournament. And now they attack looking for that second goal. They're down by the byline. Mæhle just rolls it back to Poulsen. There are 3 white shirts in the middle, but it's headed away at the far post by Kuziev. And there's a head clash on the far side. The referee blows a whistle against Poulsen for a foul on Igor Diviev.
Coming together there. Poulsen just rising above him, but maybe a little bit too much contact there for the referee Turpin. As he gets above him, there's no elbows. What he does do, he takes his eye off the ball, Poulsen, and gives the decision for the referee, an easy one.
Yeah, free kick played forward by Russia. They need a point at least to keep them in the tournament. Ball played forward. Højbjerg had Braithwaite unmarked to his right, but he couldn't get the ball. It falls instead to Poulsen. Poulsen's going to hit it from distance. The Russian defender throws everything at it and blocks it. Here now is Delaney. Back to Højbjerg. Højbjerg puts the cross in towards Vas. It's headed away on this near side, but Russia at the moment are getting penned in. They can't get out, but Zopnin with a nice turn midway inside his own half. On Delaney there. That's such an unnecessary foul. And the referee will go across as Zopnin goes down, and that may be a yellow card for Delaney. And it is a yellow card. Second of the game, first one to the Danish player. He's not been booked yet, so it's his first card of the tournament.
Right, shaking his head, Thomas Delaney, as he's getting up from the ground here, but he must know, as he's pulling down Zopnin there, he's got to know that the referee's going to go straight into his pocket and give him a yellow card there. But what I would say is, yes, he has to be very careful for the rest of the game, but a very clever foul, probably in the centre circle or not too far away from that. If you're going to give a foul away, that's probably the area to do it, more so than not. You will get away with situations like that, but he's been given that yellow card now, so he's just got to play a little bit cautious.
Stanislav Cherchesov is encouraging his fullbacks to get forward. The ball may break on the end of the area for Kuziev. He's still got it 25 yards out. He's going to work it out on that far side. Cross comes in towards the far post, but good defending from Daniel Vas. He clearly got a shout off Schmeichel, and he leaves it behind for a goal kick. We've had 12 and a half minutes on Talksport 2 in the second half. It's Russia 0, Denmark 1.
I think it was a nice little ball into the area there. It looked like Moranchuk who just drifted one in with his left foot, but as it's just coming towards the edge of the 6-yard area, there's obviously a shout from Kasper Schmeichel just to say leave it, let it run out of play. And again, these all build up. It might be 10 or 15 seconds, but come the end of the game, it just gives you those little breathers sometimes when you need it, when you've got yourself in front.
Russia come forward again. They desperately need an equaliser. As it stands, they're going to fail to get out of the group stages, and Denmark have won it in the centre circle. Delaney wanted to go forward quickly, but instead passes sideways. Mæhle drives through one challenge. He's still going. He feeds it to Poulsen, who may have been just offside, but the keeper Safanov quickly off his line to deal with the danger.
Well, Mæhle, 4 or 5 Russian players around him, just tries to slide in between them. No challenge made, and when he got near the 18-yard, but
back pass given away. Chance for Poulsen for 2-0, and Denmark have got the goal. Absolute disaster for Russia, but Poulsen is there to take full advantage. Walks it past Safanov and rolls it into the back of the net. Denmark alive and kicking. It's Russia 0, Denmark 2.
Dear, oh dear. I mean, when you find yourself in a situation where you're trying to get back into the game, the last thing you need to do is play a blind pass back to your goalkeeper when you know there's nobody there. Højbjerg who's just drifting over to this right-hand side. But again, Kudryashev, isn't it? Plays the ball back to him, and then it goes back towards the goalkeeper, and Poulsen, I mean, he's offside, he's miles offside, but the defender's just played it back. It just gives Safanov absolutely no chance in that Russian goal. He's creeping back towards his goal, stretching out his right arm, but Poulsen will not score an easier goal. It's a simple little tap in to get that all-important second goal for Denmark. That is just crazy defending.
It was Zobnin, I think, with the pass. He took the ball off Dalia Kuzyev and he just played it blindly back. Poulsen couldn't believe his luck, and to make it even easier, Savinov stumbled as he was trying to get back, and Poulsen rolls it into the back of the net. It's Russia 0, Denmark 2, and that was his last touch of the game. He's been taken off Poulsen. His second of the tournament for him. What a moment. He'll not score an easier goal in his life. It's a huge goal for Denmark. They lead by 2-0.
Kudryashev playing that ball into Zobnin, and again when Zobnin picks that ball up, as a midfield player, your first thought is to try and play that ball forward. Do not play a reverse pass back into your goalkeeper's path. He was the one who threw it out to the left hand side. Savinov, he's creeping across to his right hand side, but when that ball falls to Poulsen, all he has to do is just keep his cool and just slot that one into the back of the net. All that pressure. Haven't really created too many opportunities in this second 45 minutes, but I always said that this Russian team at the back are vulnerable, but I did not think that it would be Zobnin who would be the man who would be giving the ball away. And that second goal is key for Denmark, but how do they play this game out now? Please don't sit back and try and soak up pressure, because it'll come unstuck.
We've just seen a couple of changes. We saw Yusuf Poulsen go off, Jens Stroyer Larsen comes on in his place, and now Russia have made a change as well. Ozdayev has gone off and Zemeletdinov has come on, so changes now. Russia, well, if they needed a goal before, they're in deep trouble now. They really do need goals, and quickly. But what a disaster. Talk about shooting yourself in the foot, and that is exactly what the Russian side have done. And so it's Rifat Zemeletdinov who's come on for the Russian side.
What do you do now, Mark? If you're a Russian team, do you start to commit bodies forward? Because it's the last chance saloon for them, it really is. You might as well just commit players. You might as well lose the game 3 or 4-0, but give yourself a chance of getting back into the game. Create opportunities. You never know. You're just waiting for that one big opportunity to get yourself back into the game and just turn this game on its head. Yeah, well, if they can get one, you never know what will happen. But wow, what an error. What an error from Russia. And now the referee lets a challenge go in the centre circle, and Denmark coming forward again. Damsgaard slides the ball in, little backheel back to Damsgaard, goes down edge of the area. Referee lets play go on, and Russia will get the ball away here with Kuzyev on the far side. The Danish fans not happy, but they've won it back here with Braithwaite. Braithwaite comes forward again towards the edge of the area. The Danes looking for a third goal. They've got men over at the far post. Braithwaite couldn't get the shot away. Here now is Mailer, shoots towards goal, and Savinov down low at the near post saves. Oh, I mean, it's an onslaught now, isn't it, from this Danish team? Said about the cracks starting to happen, and that's certainly what's happening with this Russian team now. Mailer on the left-hand side. Braithwaite just couldn't get it out of his feet. That first touch, he's got 3 or 4 Russian players around him. So difficult, but they want to see this game out. They want to try and get that all-important third goal, and there's no coming back if that happens. Denmark still on the front foot, controlling this game now, and you can see here's a chance now for Braithwaite. Gets it to Dolberg, who's just come on, and the ball, he couldn't get the shot away, and it rolls to Savinov. There's been another Danish change, and it was the man who's just come on. Dolberg in on goal, but couldn't get the ball out of his feet in time. Oh, what's he waiting for? Braithwaite does really well. He plays him through. Dolberg, he knows he's going to get closed down. He tries to finish it with his left foot. When the ball's rolling to his right foot, just play it towards goal. The goalkeeper's coming off his line. You've got a nice little angle. Well, you can question just because he came onto the field, but be a little bit more clinical. So Miranchuk on for Sobolev as well. So changes for either side at the moment. They happened when the goal went in, so apologies, we're just bringing you those now.
but here's Dolberg, who's pulled down needlessly. Now this could be interesting because Kudryashov has already been booked and he pulls down the Danish. Well, for me, that's a yellow card, Mickey Gray.
Yeah, Dolberg going to ground there and already on a yellow card. Kudryashov got to be very, very careful. I think the referee is actually walking away with him now and he's let him off. Wow. He is a very, very fortunate man. He has been in the wars, he's given some silly fouls away, he's had a head clash, but that was very fun. I have to say, Mark, if he's not on a yellow card, that is a yellow card. So referees have to be a little bit more lenient. Look, we don't want to see players being sent off, but if you blatantly pulling a player back, that has to be a second yellow for me.
Totally agree. And now it's the free kick for Denmark. It's about 25, maybe 30 yards out from goal. It's right over on this near sideline. But it is a chance to send the big guns up from the back. Denmark leading by 2-0, but still it's Finland 0, Belgium 0. Belgium, if they score Belgium, then Denmark would be coming second in the group. Here now is the free kick from the sideline. Keeper comes. It was a flailing punch on it and he'll go out over on the far side for a throw-in to Denmark.
Well, what a performance from this Danish team. I talked about the intensity in that first 45 minutes and could they keep it up? Well, the momentum of obviously picking up that second goal through Poulsen has just urged them on. You talk about the support in stadiums. I've been there, Mark, in big occasions, and they just give you another 10 or 15%. These players have given absolutely everything and deserve this 2-goal lead.
Yeah, 2-0 here on Talksport 2. And listen to the roar that is going round the Parken Stadium, and that is because there has been a goal elsewhere in Group B, and Belgium lead Finland by 1-0. As it stands, the Danes are going through to the last 16, and they know it in Copenhagen. The roar goes round the stadium. It's Romelu Lukaku who scored for Belgium. The Finns' hearts might be about to be broken, but it's party time in Denmark.
Oh, listen to that atmosphere. The celebrations in the stands is absolutely incredible. What a story this could turn out to be. Everybody's got their fingers crossed in Denmark shirts in that stadium. The players have given absolutely everything. You didn't have to win any of your first 2 games. We all know what they've been through. The whole world's been through it. We've all been praying for Christian Eriksen. This is just a brilliant, brilliant story.
It is at the moment. Another couple of changes as Karavev and Mukin have come on for Russia. We'll confirm that in a moment. Oh, the tackles are going in now. The Russians are losing their cool big time. Referee somewhat surprisingly let play go on. I think he was trying to play an advantage there, but I think he should be sharpening his pencil because he might be needing it if things continue as they are. Russia 0, Denmark 2. Ball into the area. Here's Karavev. Squares it here. Zuma goes down. Penalty! It was Sobolov who was brought down, and the penalty is given. And a lifeline here for Russia from the spot. Denmark protest, but Sobolov down in the box, and it's a penalty for the Russians.
Oh my goodness. You just start to pick Denmark up because of the performance, and they have to keep their cool. But Sobolov it's a nice little give and go. The ball doesn't look like it's going to get through to him, but as he goes through, it certainly looked like there was contact. We're just seeing a replay of it now.
Oh wow, that Belgian goal after a VAR check has been disallowed. Talk about a bad 60 seconds for Denmark. The goal disallowed. And now Denmark have conceded a penalty. The drama at the Euros. We've got it all for you right here on Talksport 2. Finland, they're going back to the last 16 now. And Kasper Schmeichel has got the task of keeping out Artem Zuma. Zuma from the spot. A goal for him will make him the joint record Russian goal scorer with Alexander Kurzakov on 30 goals. Zuma barely had a kick in front of goal. Schmeichel, can he keep him out? 2-0 Denmark lead. This is a huge moment for the Russians. Artem Zuma, 32 years old, Zenit St. Petersburg striker, looks at the ball, he waits for the whistle. The crowd howl their derision. It's Zuma against Schmeichel. Zuma straight down the middle. Russia right back in it at the Parken Stadium. It's Russia 1, Denmark 2.
I mean, you cannot believe what has just happened in the last 60 seconds. It is unbelievable. Belgium score, they get pulled back, it's still 0-0. Russia go up the end against Denmark, go down, they win a penalty. The most experienced guy, Zuba, equaling that record from the penalty spot. It is just absolutely incredible. This is why we love football. You never know what's going to happen from even second to second, never mind minute to minute. It's crazy.
Crazy indeed, and Russia were back on the break but pulled back. Well, what a moment in this group. It may be time to get the abacus ready, because if Belgium do score, it's going to be very, very interesting. As it stands, Belgium still qualifying with 7 points. Finland with 4 points will be second, and Denmark would be third on 3 points. Whether that would be enough to get them through, well, I very much doubt it. Schmeichel given no chance from the spot.
Well, he dove across to his left-hand side. Again, he tried to make him as big as he possibly could, Mark, but I think Zuba was very clever. Just got a little bit of loft on that, played it through the centre of the goal. And again, well, I think that is his 30th goal. He equals the record. What a career, what a stellar career that's been as an international football player.
Yeah, it has. Just to give you those changes, Karaveev on for Kudryashov, I think. Cherchesov really realising that his defender was probably in last chance saloon with the referee, and then Kuzyev has made way for Maxim Mukin. Russia then, well, they've got time here. Remember, a point would put them in a great position to make it through, even if only as a third place qualifier. We've got 90 minutes of time remaining here at the Parken Stadium, and it's Russia now coming forward, and the ball is hammered away out on this near side for a throw into Russia.
You just wonder, because of that huge cheer, whether Denmark actually still think that Belgium are in the lead. It's very difficult to get that communication across to your players, but obviously the goal from Russia has just completely flipped things around in this group. And this is what we wanted. 3 games in the group, you have to get off to a good start. You don't want to feel under pressure going into your final game. That's what Denmark have found, and they've handled it so well up until that point. Given a penalty away, the first opportunity I think it is from Russia in the second 45 minutes. He goes down to ground. Vestergaard, I think it was, manhandling. Giving that penalty away, he's just criminal at this time of the game.
It is, and now a throw-in is headed away by Denmark. They're having to do some defending here. They cannot afford to concede a second. We've just seen Damsgaard replaced by Norgard for Denmark, who are on the break now here with Braithwaite. He scampers forward. He's got Joachim Mæhle outside him. Mæhle into the edge of the area. Now a chance. The players wait in the middle. He just dwelt on it, and it's out for a corner kick. Mæhle almost had too many options there in the area, and in the end he did nothing with them.
Same thing, Mark. Wanted to get back onto his right foot. He's got Hjorberg waiting at the back stick just for a little dink with your left foot. Okay, it's not your strongest foot, but you have to try it sometimes. A little dink. Hjorberg's waving his arms around. He wanted the ball to come in the area, and then again it gives Russian defenders the opportunity to get back to clear the lines. Yes, it's a corner, but the chance was there, beckoning for them.
It was indeed. It remains 2-1 to Denmark, and it's still 0-0 Finland-Belgium. The referee's seen something in the area here. Well, a Danish third goal would be a welcome respite for these fans in Denmark. Look at this. There's 10 bodies all on the goal line as the corner about to be taken. Swung in towards the far post. Keeper doesn't get there. It's up in the air. He's missed again. Ball's on the ground. He's trying to kick it in. Christensen has a shot. That's blocked. Oh, wow. It was a comedy of errors there from Safanov. He just couldn't get hold of the ball, but Denmark, crucially, couldn't kick it in the back of the net for a third goal.
Wow. I mean, I think initially, I think it's Vestergaard who stood in front of Safanov, and he has to get something on it. Everybody is basically on the goal line. It's a great ball into the area. They probably worked on that. The goalkeeper isn't the tallest in the world. I think it's Vestergaard who gets that first touch. In fact, it's not. It's Shah. then it's bouncing around. They're just trying to get it out their feet to put it into the back of the net. It is just frantic at the moment.
These are nervy moments for everybody involved. Finland 0, Belgium 0. As it stands, Finland are getting the job done here. It's Russia 1, Denmark 2. Denmark were 2 goals to the good. Damsgaard with a great strike first half. Others are coming together off the ball here. Braithwaite's gone down, and the referee is going to brandish the yellow card here, and there can be no complaints about that one. It was Diviev who goes into the book. That was a cynical challenge.
Yeah, Braithwaite just turned straight away once that foul was committed. Had a look at the referee. He was looking for the foul. He was certainly looking for the yellow card. A pull on his shoulders. You can't do that. You're never going to get away with that with a referee, even the amount of cameras that are around. Silly foul in a dangerous position.
It is. And now there's another roar going around the stadium, Mickey Gray. There's another roar because there has been a goal in the game involving Belgium. Now we'll wait. It's gone in off the goalkeeper. It's an own goal. I think VAR is going to check it. Did it cross the line? It looked like it did. Will hang fire. Belgium, that game live on Talksport right now. And the Danish fans, they can't contain themselves as the shot comes in from 30 yards out. Safanov saves it. And Russia 1, Denmark 2. But this time, I'm pretty certain Belgium are in front. We'll confirm that from St. Petersburg. Live over on Talksport.
I think it's going to count, Mark. I think it's going to count. Don't ask me who's wearing this group, because it's absolutely incredible. They've been itching and trying, Belgium. We've got a little screen to our left-hand side. We're watching the goals go in, but you have to just hold your breath with VAR.
Well, here's a chance for Russia. Ball on the edge of the area. Ball hammered away by Denmark. And I think the news definitely now has reached the Parken Stadium. As Diviev again, as they're coming together, and again the whistle goes, and another free kick. Now the referee's coming across here. Has he got another decision to make?
Well, he's waving his finger around the referee as he's walking across to this, but again it's the same players. Braithwaite, he does go to ground a little bit too easy. Yes, it is a foul, and I think that's as much as it is, but this game's getting out of hand a little bit. Braithwaite making those runs. We said it would open up and there would be spaces behind for Denmark. But they've got to keep their cool. They've got to keep their discipline, because we all know now what has happened in that Belgian game. I think it's been given as an own goal.
Yeah, it came off the goalkeeper. But as it stands, Belgium are top with 9 points. Denmark are second on 3 points. Russia 3 points. Finland would be bottom of the group with 3 points.
Oh, it's so tight. I mean, I said before, every minute that goes by, this league seems to be changing. I don't know if that's going to be enough for Russia in third place to try and get through to the knockout stages. They'll know that, and the more the time keeps ticking away, they have to go and search for a goal.
Denmark have got a free kick. Edge of the area, whipped to the far post, and comes off a Russian head. Diviev and behind for a corner. As it stands, it will be Wales against Denmark, Saturday 5 o'clock from Amsterdam. But Denmark have got to make sure they win the game, and they don't want Finland to equalise. Anything and everything could still happen, but here Russia 1, Denmark 2 is the latest score. Damsgaard with a wonderful goal on 38 minutes. Poulsen, after a horrendous error from Zobnin, made it 2-0 before Zuba from the penalty spot has given Russia hope. But Denmark, to be fair, are piling on the pressure. Corner for them. Can they wrap it up here? Whip towards the far post, heading towards goal. What a save! Christensen with a header, and Safanov down low, but they've not cleared it. Ball coming back into the area. Well, Safanov couldn't really do anything about the first 2 goals, Mickey Gray, but he may just have kept Russia in the Euros.
Yeah, a lot of bodies around him as well there, but Christensen does everything right, heads it down towards goal.
Here's another header, another save. Ball batted back, chance here for Braithwaite. Cleared away. It'll come to the edge of the ball. Shot goes in, and Christensen has just hit an absolute screamer. Denmark now surely going through to the last 16. Safanov came up with 2 wonderful saves, but Andreas Christensen has smashed one through a sea of bodies and into the back of the net, and the
many opportunities do you need to put the ball in the back of the net? There's some super saves, Braithwaite falling over his own feet, but Christensen, who's just headed the ball down to his right hand side and nearly scored 30 seconds prior to that, he stays up front. Larson keeps the ball alive. It comes to the edge of the area. What a save, by the way, before this ball ends up in the back of the net. 2 saves, and as it comes out to Christensen, what a strike that is. Centre half, I don't think he's done that too many times in a Chelsea shirt, but he gives the keeper no chance, because by the time he sees it, the ball is by him and he can see that net bustling. I think we can now talk about Denmark going through to the knockout stages. What a performance, what an atmosphere, what a game we've got in front of us now. Absolutely outstanding.
That progression is reliant on Finland not scoring. There's 11 minutes left in St. Petersburg. It's live on Talksport right now. Finland 0, Belgium 1. But look at the scenes of joy at the Parken Stadium. Christensen hit it that hard. Safanov just couldn't get his hands to it in time. He was so unlucky, the Russian goalkeeper. He made 2, possibly 3 great saves in the build-up to that goal, but he had no chance. And now a free kick for Russia, but Denmark in second place. Mickey Gray.
This is unbelievable, because I think everybody going into these games, Mark, will probably thinking, okay, Belgium, how many goals are they going to score? They've had the disallowed one through Lukaku, they've got the own goal, but I didn't think it was going to be that tight. I have to admit that. Denmark had a job to do, and they are certainly doing it.
Here the ball cleared away from the Russian free kick. Now the break is definitely on here for the Danes. Højbjerg gets it away on the far side, and they sprint forward. Braithwaite waits in the middle for any cross. May come for a shot, and it's another goal! Joachim Mæhle, right-footed from the edge of the area, has smashed it in the back of the net. The Danes have a 4th, and surely now they're going through to the last 16. It's Russia 1, Denmark 4.
There was no doubt in my mind we were in for a classic tonight because of what was at stake from 2 teams, but I did not think it was going to be as good as this. We've had everything in this game. I mean, look at this. 4 on 3, just worked it inside onto his right foot, Mæhle, which he's done throughout the whole of the game, to be honest with you, but he's in a better position here. 3 or 4 Russian defenders in front of the goalkeeper there, Safanov. He can't see it as it just drifts into his bottom right-hand corner. Great finish, but what a game we've got. 4-1.
It is 4-1, and the noise may just go up a notch, because there has been a second goal in St. Petersburg. You can hear the news filtering around the stadium. Over on Talksport, it is Finland 0, Belgium 2. Romelu Lukaku denied by VAR earlier on. Looks like he's got the second, and if there was any doubt now, it's surely all gone. Russia 1, Denmark 4, and it's Finland 0, Belgium 2. They needed a perfect storm, Denmark, and they have got one tonight.
Well, if you didn't think Euro 2020 had sprung to life, then watch your TV screens and listen to Talksport 2 tonight, because it is alive and kicking. This is absolutely fantastic.
Stanislav Cherchesov looks on, his side have been blown away. They were masters of their own downfall, really. The goal for Poulsen was so highly preventable. They got a lifeline at 2-1 when Zuba scored his 30th goal for Russia. But since then, Christensen with a wonderful strike, and then a perfectly placed finish from Joachim Mæhle. And Denmark have opened up a 3-goal cushion, and now they're on the break. They want another one. You look back to the scenes in this stadium on the opening home game of the tournament for the Danes. They couldn't be any different tonight, Mickey Gray, could they?
Oh, they've repaid the support that they've got in this stadium. Absolutely outstanding, it really is. I didn't think they could keep up that tempo for 90 minutes, but every single player in a Danish shirt have just been phenomenal. You know, are they playing for Christian Eriksen, or are they just playing to try and get through the group stages? I think we all wanted to see a performance from them tonight. Certainly we've missed crowds. How much have we missed crowds? You have to listen to that. It's electric, it really is.
We have got around about 6 minutes of the 90 left. Denmark cruising, dare I say it, to the last 16. They would face Wales in Amsterdam on Saturday. The ball whipped in from the corner, and Safanov will deal with it. I think the one thing that Wales, if they are to be Denmark's opponents, will be glad is that they're not going to the Parken Stadium to play them.
Yeah, absolutely. I mean, this is, being biased, I suppose, a little bit, but we want this. And it's a shame it's not going to happen, because these Danish supporters, from first whistle to the last, it just made it for me. It really has. You talk about needing that momentum and that urge to go forward and that extra 10%. Well, they've been with them all the way through this game. When it went to 2-1, you started to worry a little bit for them. But it's just been brilliant. Some of the goals we've seen tonight. Christiansen, what a strike. Where's that come from?
We have got another change. Andreas Cornelius has come on for Martin Braithwaite. And we're going to see as well another change, and it's Delaney, who was booked earlier on, who's going off. So Delaney and Braithwaite make way, and it's going to be Matthias Jensen, the Brentford player, that comes on for Delaney. 5 left, live on Talksport 2. What a game we have seen, and fair play to Denmark as they get another free kick for a robust challenge on the halfway line.
The scenes at the end of this game, I think we all know what's coming. It's just going to be fantastic. I think you're going to see a group of players that are just going to celebrate as much as they possibly can. You're going to see a crowd that are just going to go in uproar, and a manager in Humans who, he's kicked every ball, he's been out there, he's with the team, and they've not let up. They got the third goal. You're thinking to yourself, right, just hang on to that and pray that Belgium can go and get the result that you need. They've went for 4, they got it. They're searching for a 5th goal. They're just not letting up. Absolutely outstanding. I've loved it. Every single minute of this game has been brilliant.
4 minutes left. Russia 1, Denmark 4, Finland 0, Belgium 2. Don't forget, tomorrow, all the build-up from 6. We're live at Wembley on Talksport. England taking on the Czech Republic. Jim Proudfoot, Stuart Pearce and Sol Campbell, our commentary team there. And we're also at Hampden, Croatia, Scotland. Alex Crook and Chris Iwelumo, our commentary team for that one. We've got every angle of this Euros covered, but I think this is the night. If there was any doubt about how exciting this tournament was going to be, this has been the night when it genuinely caught the world's attention. What a win for Denmark. Another free kick for them, and they are almost there.
So much at stake, so much on the line. Going into that final game of the group stages, you know what you have to do as a team, and it's just about giving every ounce of energy that you have possibly got, and that's what's made this football match so special tonight.
They got excited earlier on when Belgium had a goal disallowed. They thought they were going through. Then there was the drama of the Russian penalty to make it 2-1. Again, they weren't quite sure, but those 2 late goals, and 2 great goals as well, have really wrapped things up for the Danes, who are just moments away. 2.5 minutes of normal time. Not sure how long they'll be added on. They want a fifth of fans in the stadium, and who can blame them? As the cross comes towards the far post, Mailer, the latest goal scorer, has it down the left, but he overruns it and it goes out for a goal kick. He'll be forgiven that. He's one of the heroes in white tonight in Denmark.
It's not often you see a white player running the ball out of play. They've run it back. Goalkeeper's given it away.
They have, and the cross comes in. And Norgard beats the floor in frustration. He wanted a piece of the action as well. But Russia have got it. Zuma, who got his 30th international goal in 55 appearances, but it's not going to be enough. Russia will go out in the group stages again. 3 minutes left in St. Petersburg. Finland 0, Belgium 2, and I guess that second goal in Belgium was even more comforting than the 4th one that Denmark scored. It's just given them that little bit of breathing space. There should be no last minute goals that would scupper them from elsewhere. You can catch the closing stages of that game, Finland-Belgium, on Talksport right now, but we're at the Parken Stadium and it's party time. Russia 1, Denmark 4, and you just wonder, the quality of that first goal from Damsgaard, it set things up perfectly, didn't it?
It certainly did, Mark. You've hit the nail on the head. It was an outstanding finish from the young man. and it just set the tempo of this game. They wanted to get the front foot and make things happen, and boy, have they done that all right.
Here's Mailer with a cross. He was looking for Dolberg in the middle. He might still get a chance, Dolberg, but the ball bounces behind and goes out for a goal kick for Russia. Wonderful scenes. That third goal from Christensen, an absolute pile driver from what, 25 yards out. Saponov had absolutely no chance. Here now goes Dolberg. Picks the ball up high up the field. He skips past one. Can he produce a cross? There's only one teammate in the middle. He pulls it back to the edge of the area and it's cleared away by Zakiev. And Russia now, they just want the final whistle. They're out on their feet. They're going to come bottom of the group. Whether Finland's 3 points will be enough for them, it's highly unlikely. It's been a creditable showing in their first major finals. But for Denmark, who were in the headlines for all the wrong reasons when Christian Eriksen was taken ill at the Parken Stadium, thankfully he is on the mend, and so are the hopes of this Danish team in the UEFA Euro 2020 competition. I don't think anybody can believe it. I certainly don't think Kasper Hjulmand can believe it either. He's on the sideline. Just look of relief, Mickey. I think it's shock. I think he's in shock.
Absolutely. I mean, he's just been waving his arms around there, keeping the crowd going as if they need any, enthusiasm, or they need a manager to try and do that for them. They've done it throughout the whole of the game. It's just been brilliant to see. The manager, the players, the supporters. I think, as I said before, they've become everybody's second team because of the situation they've found themselves in. What has happened to Christian Eriksen? But if you want to say to a player, we are there for you, they have done it in abundance.
There could be a few beverages being consumed after this one, I think, all around Denmark, but certainly in Copenhagen tonight. The Parken Stadium, right from the moment the teams came out of the tunnel, have been right behind their side. Ball forward here for Denmark, who are looking to try and get a fifth. They've got another corner. We've had 90 seconds of added on time. But this is Denmark's night. Make no mistake about that. The team that won it against all the odds back in 1992. They're going into the last 16. And hope and confidence must be so high on the back of this. And the fact that, given that Belgium are 2-0 up elsewhere, they can actually enjoy these moments, Mickey.
Yeah, absolutely. These are all that hard work within the first 70 minutes or something. You get yourself into a position, a command and lead.
Here comes the corner towards the far post. It's partially cleared by Diviev. Ball picked up over on the far side by Højbjerg, who spilt blood for the cause tonight. He's into the edge of the area, goes for the shot, deflected, goes behind off Zakia. And every attack now, they just want more and more goals.
Well, I think Højbjerg was signed for Spurs to be a holding midfield player, and I've just seen him over on that left-hand side with a little drag through Zuba's, as a nutmeg. He showed us skills that I didn't think he actually had. He's got that bandage round his head. They've done it for the cause tonight.
They led at the break by a goal to nil, but the error from Zobnin that set up Poulsen for a walking goal to make it 2-0. Probably the crucial moment in this game as another Danish corner whipped in towards the far post. It's headed away and out on this near side, and that is it. The final whistle goes at the Parken Stadium. They came hoping tonight that things would go their way, but the moment that Mikael Damsgaard curled in a right foot shot from the edge of the area, you got the feeling that the Danes were going to have their day in the spotlight. Josip Poulsen on the end of a horrendous back pass made it 2-0 on the hour mark, and whilst Artem Zuba got one back from the penalty spot with 20 minutes left, there weren't too many nervous moments for the Danes. Andreas Christensen with a pile driver from 25 yards out, his second goal for Denmark, really did open up the comfort blanket. And when Joachim Mæhle scored just shortly after to make it 4-1, the Danes needed goals from elsewhere. Belgium are leading Finland by 2. That's all they needed, and it's Denmark who will go through its second place in Group B. It's been an outstanding performance on and off the field. The dark days of that opening game are behind them now. You wonder how far this Danish side can go. Full time at the Parken Stadium. Believe me, it's party time in Copenhagen tonight. It's Russia 1, Denmark